Good morning. The October the 14th, 2020 meeting of the Board of Estimates is now called to order. In the interest of promoting and maintaining health and safety as we continue to deal with the COVID-19 pandemic, the Board of Estimates continues to be a virtual meeting. Madam Comptroller, are there any corrections, additions, or deferrals on the agenda?
Yes. Page 64, item 9, B50001886, vehicle leasing is being deferred from today's meeting until October 21st, 2020. We are moving to the non-routine, page 12, the Department of Audits for the audit report. Also, pages 72 to 73, item 1, Bureau of Procurement, B50005924, Personal Care and Homemaker Services. Please note the following abstentions. For the Honorable Mayor Bernard C. Young, there are no abstentions. Please note for the Honorable President Brandon Scott, there are no abstentions. Please note for the Honorable Comptroller Joan Pratt, there are no abstentions. Please note for Acting City Solicitor Dana Moore, no abstentions. And please note for Acting DPW Mr. Matthew Garbark, there are no abstentions. And please note that the agenda changed from pages
71 to 85.
71 through 85.
I just sent the new pages to them. They should have.
And board members should have the correct pages.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Comptroller. I would direct the board members' attention to the memorandum from my office dated October the 13th, 2020, identifying matters to be considered as routine agenda items together with any corrections and additions that have been noted by the Comptroller. I will entertain a motion to approve all the items contained on the routine agenda.
Good morning, everyone. I move approval of all of the items on the routine agenda.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say no. The motion carries. The routine agenda items have been adopted. The first item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 12, Department of Audits Audit Report. We will now hear from the City Auditor.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. President, Mr. Mayor, Madam Comptroller, and members of the Board of Estimates. I am here to present the biennial performance audit on the Department of Planning for fiscal years ended June 30th, 2019 and 2018. The objectives of our audit were to determine whether the Department of Planning met its performance measures, targets, evaluate whether the Department of Planning has adequately designed internal controls related to those selected performance measures, and to follow up on the prior findings and recommendations included in the previous biennial performance audit dated November 23rd, 2018. Our scope included Service 763, average number of days for basic permit review, and Service 765, % of climate action plans recommended that were completed, and Service 761, average number of site plan review committee meetings required for plan approval. According to the budget books, all three selected performance measures met their targets in fiscal years 2019 and 18. However, when we validated those results, we noted that 2 of the 3 selected measures were not reported correctly. We also evaluated the design of internal controls for the selected performance measures. We have 2 findings related to that for the current year. The first finding for Service 763, comprehensive planning and resource management, average number of days for basic permit review. We noted that the calculation methodology and the data reliability controls impacted the performance measure reporting. We noted that the calculation method used resulted in understating the actual results reported in the budget book for the average number of days for basic permit review. When we looked into the controls and processes around calculating it, we noted that the planning department uses the permit purchase date, or when the permit is requested, to calculate the average number of days instead of using the date that the permit was approved. This resulted in when permits were assigned in one fiscal year and approved in a subsequent fiscal year, those were not correctly captured and calculated correctly. We specifically noted 8 permits that were assigned in fiscal year 2018 that averaged 230 business days to approve. They were incorrectly reported in fiscal year 18 as -1 day to approve because they were not included in the calculation as they spanned multiple fiscal years. We also noted that the calculation did not include urban rural zone R44, which included 69 permits that averaged 26 days to approve, was not included in the calculation. We also noted on the system controls that the access rights for the construction enforcement system, which is used to gain data, that the planners had edit rights to change the approval dates. We also noted that the spreadsheet, which details the output of assigned and approved permits provided by the DHCD, did not have proper access controls, and that anyone who had access to the network drive would have access to the report. The second finding is on Service 765, Planning for Sustainable Baltimore, % of Climate Action Plan recommendations completed. We noted the targets and goals are reported on a project-to-date basis, and they do not have measurable and verifiable deliverables. What we did was most measures in the budget book are reported with an annual target or a target for that year and results for that year. For the CAP, it is reported on a cumulative basis. So we noted that in fiscal year 2018, they had a target of 19%. However, the target in fiscal 17 was 13%, and that being cumulative, the target was only to improve or increase the number of recommendations implemented by 6%. We noted the budget book stated that the target for implementing recommendations was 21%. However, that was only a 2% increase over the 2018. Our recommendation there was to add clarity to the budget book so that users of the budget book would have a clear understanding of what the targets are and what activity was completed in each of those fiscal years. We also reviewed the prior audit findings and recommendations. Of the 15 prior action plans that we followed up on, 2 of the action plans were fully implemented, 8 of the action plans were partially implemented, and 5 of the action plans were not implemented. The findings all related to documenting policies and procedures on data collection, calculation, validation methods used, and having supporting documentation to support the actual results and meeting the measures. The measures that were included from prior year include 761 development oversight and project support, and the measure was % of assigned building permits reviewed within 48 hours. Service 761, again, development oversight and project support performance measure, % of subdivision reviews receiving planning commission approval in less than 30 days. And performance metric, average number of site plan review committee meetings required for plan approval. And for Service Center 762, historic preservation, the performance measure was number of preliminary reviews completed for tax credit applications within 30 days. And for Service Center for 2001 and 2014 fiscal years, under Service Center 762, development oversight and project support, performance measure % completed notice to proceed permit applications review within 48 hours. We also noted in fiscal years 2011 to 14 for Service Center 763, comprehensive planning and resource management, the measure average number of days for basic permit review, and the percentage of Baltimore Sustainable Plan strategies initiated. Those were also had the same repeat findings, which was, again, not having supporting documentation to support the numbers stated in the budget book, and documented policies and procedures to document the data collection, calculation, and validation methods so that it can be recalculated and reformed. That is all. If there's any questions.
Questions from the board members for the city auditor? Mr. Auditor, stand by. Director Ryer, would you like to address the audit from planning's perspective?
Yes, Mr. President, members of the board, I would. As you may or may not know, this is my first audit. I've been in this position about a year and a half. And we also have a brand new budget officer. I'd like to introduce Courtney Barbour, who is on this call. We also have our two assistant directors, Lori Feinberg and Stephanie Smith, on the call, and our director of policy and data analysis, Sarah Arnilla. I would like to take a minute to sort of challenge my idea of how we could do this audit in the future. As you will see today, essentially what we have been measuring at the department is our turnaround time on the various land use and historic permits that we oversee, which is numerous. And I will say that since my time here, I have never heard a complaint about this department from anyone in the development community about our timeliness. You'll also see some presentations about the sustainability plan and specific aspects of it and the implementation of that. And I would caution you that those are multi-year, large item plans. They are not something that you can actually measure from month to month or quarter to quarter. So I would like to work with the finance department and ultimately the controller's office on figuring out something that we do that's a little more meaningful, a little more qualitative rather than quantitative. I want to figure out how this department of 50 people actually helps the city get better. You may or may not know that we have rolled out a new community development plan in the city of Baltimore, and I think it's going to have a big impact. I'd like to figure out how we can measure how that affects the quality of life for our citizens of Baltimore. So that's what I'm looking forward to in the next audit, to coming back to you with some qualitative measures that really try to show how much value the planning department adds to the government of the city of Baltimore. Thanks.
Thank you. Any further questions from any of the board members? All right, seeing none, the audit report has been noted. The second item on the non-routine agenda can be found on pages 73 to 74, items 1, B 50005924, personal care and homemaker services. We will hear first from Dependable Services Group LLC and then from a representative of IMBU. Please state your name and begin your protest.
Morning.
Good morning.
May I speak now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I respectfully want to say good morning to all the board members and the representatives. I may not address everyone correctly. Please pardon me, but I just want to say thank you, everyone. My name is Obako Ezina Esochai, and I represent Dependable Services Group. And I want to say thank you so much to the Bureau of Purchases and all concerned that have given us the opportunity to serve. We have been serving the city of Baltimore, especially our seniors, our schools, and we are very grateful. The reason why I'm before you this morning is, just as have been stated, the solicitation, we were denied the opportunity to serve, and we wanted to find out the reason. And one of the main reasons is because we did not choose the proper MBE firm. And looking at those that have been considered to have the contract awarded, we find out that we being non-compliant is also applies to those firms that have been selected to be awarded the contract. So I am before you this morning to say, if it's possible, can we also be given that opportunity to remedy the need so that we can also be able to serve our seniors? That is just the simple reason why I am before you, and I respectfully thank you for giving us the audience. Thank you.
Thank you. Would someone who's on from
Good
Inbu?
morning, Council President Scott and members of the board. This is LaShella Miller. I am currently the Deputy Chief, now serving as the Acting Chief for MBU. And with regard to this compliance review that we conducted, the reasons that the vendor was found non-compliant was due to the MBE selection not being a certified business with the Baltimore City's program. And so when we conducted the review of the actual forms that were submitted with the bid, they were executed incorrectly. And that is because they failed to list the percentages for both the MBE and WBE that they intended to use for the contract.
Thank you. Any questions from any board members? All right, seeing none, I will entertain a motion.
Mr. President, before you call for the motion, please note that this item is on pages 72 and 73.
Okay, I'm sorry. Thank you, Madam Comptroller. Thank you. I will ask for a motion.
I move that we accept the award for Vitalis Healthcare LLC.
Right, and I apologize. This is Solicitor Moore. I was on mute. I join in Madam Comptroller's recommendation, and I want to formalize a motion. I move that the protest be and that the award be given as reflected in the Board of Estimates agenda, pages 72 and 73.
I second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. The motion is approved. The protest has been denied. The item has been approved. As there's no more business before the board, we will recess until bid opening at 12 noon. We will reconvene October 21st, 2020. Thank you.
Is it noon? It is. It is noon. Good afternoon. The Board of Estimates is now in session for the receiving and opening of bids. As part of the overall effort to limit transmission of the COVID-19 virus, the Board of Estimates is conducting bid openings virtually. Members of the public can call in to listen to bid openings live by calling 443-984-1696 and entering access code 0817325. Board of Estimates meetings are broadcast live on Charm TV, Channel 25, on Comcast Cable in Baltimore City. Meetings are also streamed on the internet at www.charmtv.baltimore.com/watch-live. The Board of Estimates will continue to conduct bid openings virtually while the state of emergency declared by the Mayor of Baltimore and the Governor of Maryland remains in effect. I have one addendum to note. Department of Recreation and Parks, RP 7802R, Dipsky Park Improvements, please change the bid due date from October 14th to October 28th, 2020. Thank you. The following bids have been received for the October 14th, 2020 Board of Estimates meeting. The Department of General Services, GS 16820, 4 South Frederick Street Elevator Replacement. Did it say with a bid bond?
It does have, yeah.
With a bid bond. The bidder is Chilmar Corporation
With a bid bond.
with a bid bond. Total dollar amount is $707,396. $707,396. The next bidder is Nichols Contracting, Inc.
With the bid bond.
with a bid bond. Total dollar amount is $749,440. $749,440.
So these will be referred to the Department of General Services for their review.
There being no more business before this board, it is in recess until October 21st. Thank you.